College life had always been an adventure, but when I moved into the ancient dormitory on the outskirts of campus, I had no idea that my college experience would take a spine-chilling turn. The hostel, a looming structure with ivy-covered walls and a history steeped in mystery, had an eerie reputation that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest students. From the moment I stepped through the creaking doors, a sense of unease settled over me. The air in the narrow corridors felt stifling, laden with the weight of countless untold stories. The flickering overhead lights cast long shadows that seemed to dance with a life of their own. My room, nestled at the end of a dimly lit hallway, became my sanctuary, or so I thought. As night descended, the hostel underwent a transformation. The walls seemed to groan with the weight of history, and the once familiar surroundings took on a spectral quality. On the first night, I awoke to the distant sounds of footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. The hostel, supposedly vacant during the late hours, seemed to come alive with unseen inhabitants. I dismissed it as my imagination playing tricks, a consequence of adjusting to a new environment. Days turned into weeks, and as my academic commitments grew, so did the inexplicable occurrences. Muffled whispers resonated through the walls, their words unintelligible, yet charged with an unsettling energy. Doors slammed shut on their own accord, and chilling drafts swept through the room, extinguishing candles and creating an otherworldly atmosphere. One evening, as I delved into my studies, the room temperature plummeted. I glanced up from my books to witness the apparition of a spectral figure, draped in tattered clothing, standing in the corner. A breath caught in my throat as its hollow eyes locked onto mine before dissipating into the shadows. Haunted by the spectral encounter, I sought solace in the company of fellow students. Tales of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena circulated among the hostel's inhabitants, each story adding a layer of dread to my college experience. Late one night, a group of friends and I decided to conduct a seance in the common room, hoping to communicate with the restless spirits that seemed to inhabit the hostel. We dimmed the lights and arranged ourselves in a circle, hands clasped, and a makeshift Ouija board placed in the center. As we called out to the spirits, a cold breeze swept through the room. The flickering candle flames danced erratically, casting ominous shadows on the walls. The planchette on the Ouija board began to move, spelling out cryptic messages that sent a shiver down our spines. "Leave," it spelled out, its movements deliberate and forceful. Fear gripped the room as a distant wailing sound reverberated through the corridors. The atmosphere thickened, and the once faint whispers intensified into anguished cries. We hastily ended the seance. The common room plunged into an oppressive silence. In the days that followed, the spectral activity escalated. The common room, once a hub of camaraderie, became a place of eerie silence. Dark apparitions lurked in the corners, their eyes following anyone brave enough to venture into the room after dark. Sleepless nights became the norm as the hostel's haunted history seeped into every facet of my existence. The boundaries between the living and the dead blurred, and my academic pursuits took a back seat to the haunting mysteries that surrounded me. One fateful night, as I lay in bed, the room plunged into darkness. A haunting melody, reminiscent of an old lullaby, filled the air. The temperature dropped, and a spectral figure materialized at the foot of my bed. Its mournful eyes bore into mine as it extended a bony hand toward me. In a panic, I reached for the light switch, flooding the room with an artificial brightness. The spectral figure vanished, leaving me shaken and questioning the reality of my experiences. Determined to unravel the hostel's dark secrets, I delved into its history. Legends spoke of a tragic fire that claimed the lives of several students decades ago. The hostel, now a monument to their untimely demise, seemed to harbor the residual energy of their lingering spirits. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I decided to confront the spectral entities that haunted the hostel. In the dead of night, I stood in the common room, surrounded by flickering candlelight. "I know your story," I called out to the unseen entities. "I understand your pain, but you cannot keep us captive in your haunted realm." The room trembled, and the temperature plummeted. Whispers filled the air, recounting tales of lost dreams and extinguished aspirations. The shadows seemed to retreat, revealing the spectral figures that lingered in the corners. As the hostel resonated with the echoes of the past, a blinding light enveloped the common room. The anguished cries faded, replaced by a serene calm. The hostel, once a haven for restless spirits, underwent a transformative release. From that night onward, the hostel's haunted reputation waned. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the corridors echoed with a newfound tranquility. The once spectral figures, their anguish appeased, seemed to find solace in the release from their earthly shackles. As I completed my college tenure, the hostel underwent a physical and metaphysical renovation. Its walls, once heavy with the weight of untold stories, seemed to breathe with newfound life. The flickering lights stabilized, and the once chilling drafts ceased. As I bid farewell to the haunted college hostel, I couldn't help but feel a mix of gratitude and relief. The echoes of the dormitory, once fraught with spectral sorrow, now resonated with a sense of closure. The tales of the haunted hostel would become a part of my college lore, a testament to the thin veil between the living and the dead that lingered in the hallowed halls of academia.